Well, hey everybody. Welcome to the Omniverse Chronicles Crossroads Carnival. Before we get into the broadcast today, we're actually going to take just a little bit of time to talk about our characters. Last week we jumped right into the story, the same way we did with I Hunt. And we're going to do a similar thing as we did there, where we'll go through our playbooks a little bit so you have a sense of some of the driving force behind everyone. So who would like to go first?
You can go
I
first.
okay.
I'm sorry, I'm just pulling up my notes here. Yeah, so I am playing Thalassa. I'm playing the playbook of the mermaid. So going through kind of the character creation here. Um, you can choose name, looks, eyes, and then under origin, I had a couple of options, and I chose banished from the sea, as well as an indulgence. So in this thing, everybody has an indulgence, and it's something that you crave, essentially. And so mine is adoration. So part of the backstory for my character is that she killed this essentially mermaid princess and stole this crown because she wanted the power, and the crown actually makes her crave adoration even more. It puts this almost sickness in her mind. So my beginning stats, I have +1 bones, 0 breath, +1 grace, and -1 guile. Let's see here. So then everybody has a pitch card. Um, and so they're very interesting. I have how did you end up at the carnival? So, to tie in with the idea that she murdered this other mermaid, she was basically banished from the sea. And so she had to flee out of fear of being murdered, and ended up getting caught in a fisherman's net. And to avoid going back, she ended up joining this carnival. Why are you fighting on the side of humanity? So they won't put me back in the ocean because I will definitely get murdered there. Why don't you give in to your monstrous nature? Again, it's very much a self-preservation. I have to try and control that so I can keep this position that I've put myself in while still using it and the fascination humans have with mermaids to feed that need for adoration. Um, how do you navigate land with no legs? So that goes into the contraption that we talked about in the last episode. She has this cylindrical tank. Essentially, somebody in chat last week mentioned it's like a Barbie cake. She has the the straight tank, and then she has a long skirt that goes over it to hide that fact, so she can kind of blend in with with everyday life when she's outside of the carnival. It is very, very much like a Barbie cake. Um, what treasure did you bring with you from the ocean? That'd be fancy cursed crown. Um, Under Sideshow Alley, there are a couple of questions, and this has to do with it's basically our relationships with each other, with the other player characters. So mine is who helps you get around on land more than anyone else? And so my tie with that is Tiresias. Um, Being the seer, we've kind of worked out in our history that he steers me down kind of a path that he wants, and so we kind of tied that into literally like he helps steer me where I'm supposed. Um, who are you in love with? What about them draws you in, and what disgusts you? So I am in love with Garbanzo, the strong man. I am drawn in by the power that he displays. And I am disgusted by him sending away some of his earnings. And I think Tass will talk a little bit about that. But that ties into Thalassa's fascination with power, and the idea that you would give something up that gives you power is distasteful to her. Um, whose eyes can you feel linger on you too long, and why don't you stop them? So that would be Mallory. Um, so I have that in Kim's playbook, she'll get into that a little bit, but it had talked about like wanting to, I think devour is the word that's used. And so we kind of determined like whatever that looks like, whether that's like actually like fish dinner wants to eat me or whatever else avenue that goes down. It's a desire to, even if it's a desire to kill me, that's still a desire. That's still fascination. And so that's how we tied in with that. And we have a couple of other options here, but I think those will probably come up when we hit those parts of the playbook, so I might skip that part for now. And then I have a couple of moves. I start with Siren Song, which I have a couple of options. You use your lovely voice as a weapon, roll plus grace. On a hit, choose one, and I have a couple of cool options, which I don't want to say out loud because I would love for them to be able to come up and play. We did hit one or two of those last time. And then Beauty from Below. When revealing your aquatic features, you may roll plus grace instead of guile to strike a deal. So that's my playbook.
Nice. I am playing Mallory Mercer, and my playbook is the Dog-Faced. So the origin that I chose was Born Under a Full Moon, and my indulgence is the thrill of a good fight. My stats are +2 bones, +1 breath, -1 grace, and -1 guile. And my pitch card, my first question is, how did you end up at the carnival? So Mallory, we discussed in our session 0, was born in a pretty wealthy family. Her dad was in the steel industry, an industry that got decimated during the Great Depression, and her family lost most of their money, and that, along with her more wolfish features, which started showing up in her teens, she fled the family and started bare knuckle boxing and looking for work, and initially joined the carnival as a roustabout until the more unique side of her became known, and then she sort of accidentally became an attraction. Why are you fighting on the side of humanity? Because Mallory still sees herself as human, or still wants to be. That is something, she doesn't love the way that she is, and wants to protect humanity. Why don't you give in to your monstrous nature? That is sort of the same side of that coin, because more often than not, when she goes werewolf, she'll black out and find out that she's done something that she really regrets. What do you chase, even though it will be your death? She chases a cure for the way that she is. And what does your transformation cost you each time you change? I think what it costs her is every time she changes, her she gets not more violent, but violent with greater ease. I think that little voice in her head that tells her not to do it gets a little quieter every time she changes. And so for my relationships, the first one I have is, who here do you hunt, crave, and want to taste more than anything in the world? And that would be Thalassa. Who here is part of your pack, and how did they earn your loyalty? That would be Tiresias, and he earned my loyalty by making a prediction about that something bad was going to happen to me, which he will get into, and I didn't listen to him and paid the price for it, and now I greatly respect Tiresias and the things that he has to say. And my very last one, who threatens the safety of the carnival, and how do you plan to stop them? Garbanzo does, obviously. As far as how I plan to stop him, gosh, I don't know if Mallory thinks that she can, which is a little bit, Tass will get into that part with his relationship answer for me. But really, I think just trying to find a way to get him alone and get him vulnerable. And that's it for me. Oh, I have 2 moves, but you did see both of them in our first episode. You saw Beast Within, where I transform into a werewolf, and then I also have True Nature, where I can tap into my wolf senses to sense the monstrosity in others, and that gives me some hold to ask some questions about people. And that's it.
And I am playing Garbanzo the Strongman, so the Strongman playbook. My stats are +1 bones, -1 breath, -1 grace, and +2 guile. Um, so for my first one off the top here of some of the character creation is that I have an indulgence, which is breaking bones. So when it comes to those moments, that is the thing that gives me sort of release from this kind of growing anger, I think, that he has and tries to subdue. So for my pitch card, how did I end up at the carnival? It's kind of long, so I'll abbreviate it. We kind of went on a deep dive as to how and why this happened through some other things. Long story short, he's from Australia, and he went out with the AIF during World War One and joined the war. In a particular scuffle, it was he and an enemy soldier literally battling to the death. Almost died himself, but was essentially given a death curse by this enemy soldier that he was killing. I was killing with my bare hands, and it gave this incredible strength, but also that want to use it. So some of these other questions are going to kind of answer how I got there, but I eventually ended up in the States. I saw a little bit of a scuffle as I went to this random carnival and saw some townies picking on Mallory. And I thought I was being a nice guy to step in and save her. Little did I know I was much more likely probably saving them from her, but displayed that strength and got offered a job. Why am I fighting on the side of humanity? I think I'm fighting against this curse, this thing, this sort of evil that's following me and showing that I can rein it in and use it for, if not necessarily for good, at least to not use it for evil. Why don't I give in to my monstrous nature? Things get real ugly. I'm not as afraid of like unleashing that strength when it's due, like when it's appropriate. You know, some people are bad people and need to be put in their place. But even in doing that, I'm always afraid that there's going to be collateral damage and I'm going to hurt someone I care about. So I'm constantly fighting against that, which I think leads back to some of the moves that I'm going to talk about and why I have a high guile. There's a whole lot of speak softly but carry a big stick going on with this guy. What about my strength frightens you? It's kind of in that same answer. I have this urge, this need, that part of that curse is to break something, preferably a person, is just to feel that bone crunch. We talked about that. I have like stacks of lumber that I bring around or buy in new towns just to be able to break something to get that edge off. And whose innocence did I destroy with my anger was my daughter. I think I left a very, very young daughter in Australia when I came to the war. I came back. She's a little older and was, you know, old enough to understand the horror of it when I did lose control once and just mutilated some people, some thugs in front of her, and it terrified her. She wouldn't come near me anymore, etc. And that is who I send the majority of my earnings to back to Australia, to her, which leaves a little bit of ire with Thalassa. So for my connections there, who do you view as yours and how do you show them? Thalassa, it is definitely that relationship of respect, and I try to since I don't have a lot physically to give her, I try to make sure that I'm giving her a lot of time and, one-on-one attention, because I know that she craves that as well. Yeah. Who did you last put in their place, and how bad was the damage? I think some of the anger between Mallory and myself got out of hand in like a local pub at one point off the fairgrounds, and we wrecked it. We ruined the place. We probably got in a fair amount of trouble with management for having done so. Probably not like a lot of other townies and stuff getting killed, but like at least probably some people getting hurt and terrified by that display. And who is a friend you believe would never betray you? And I believe Tiresias, and I think it's very simple for Garbanzo. Of here's this guy that has proven that he can see things and understands things in a way that I never would. So there's this awe of, I don't know how this guy does it, but I have no reason to disbelieve anything he says. I'm gonna put my trust in him. Whether I don't know how he feels about me, but I at least have that. So for the moves, one of them I did touch on. Strength of 10 men. When you threaten to bring the pain in order to get what you want from someone, tell them what you want and roll plus bones. And depending on that, they either can take some pain or they can give into it. If on a mixed, they have some things that they can impose. And then the one that we haven't seen yet is unflinching. When you endure the darkness by suffering in stoic silence, roll plus bones instead of breath. On a miss, bones break instead of giving you strength, and I take 2 harm. Yeah, I think that kind of hits. I don't know if we're talking about Monster Within or the Solace or any of that. Not really? Okay.
No.
Okay. And I am playing Tiresias the Seer. My stats are -1 bones, +1 breath, -1 grace, +2 guile. My indulgence is dreams, and I'll get to a little bit later. One of my moves that I used last week was the touch, where I can physically touch someone and draw things from them, information. The indulgence I have in that is that when I touch someone, I can also take of their dreams, draw power, essentially life from their dreams, and so it's a way of feeding. And as a kind of alluded last week, Tiresias is very old. Tiresias is the Tiresias from Oedipus Rex, which will become very apparent here in a couple of these answers. So he has seen a lot of life. How did you end up at the Carnival? This was the only place that I could find that was still safe to actually use my abilities. Given the time and stuff, you could have like a little knockdown place on a corner, but odds are it would get, robbed or the glass broken out or whatever. And so this was the one place that I found where I could kind of still have some level of like, oh, this is something to behold, and not just, it's some kind of a charlatan's act. Why are you fighting on the side of humanity? Because I have seen what happens when I don't. This is alluding to the things that happened in Oedipus Rex when I started to kind of go down my own path and get the things. Oh, people are getting correctly audio from me, huh? That's not good. Anyway, I should stop reading chat while I'm talking. I'll let someone else solve that. Why don't you give in to your monstrous nature? Because it can kill people. If I were to drink too much from someone or to have too many visions, there is a fear of life kind of passing by. Like if you were living in the future and not living in the moment, Tiresias has lost lots of years, where when he did give into that side for a little while, like 100 years had passed and he was kind of unaware. what sinister destiny is coming to claim you? I have seen visions of myself kept hostage as a pet oracle for some dark leader who has taken over the earth, some monstrous queen who keeps me as a pet to help see the future. And what lingering spirit haunts you and why? The lingering spirit that haunts me is the child that has a destiny unfulfilled. It is Jocasta's child from Oedipus. It comes to me in different shapes and ages and forms because its destiny was stripped from it. It got no life, and it haunts me for the things that I have done. For my sideshow Allie, whose future are you always trying to keep one step ahead of, and why don't you tell them? It is Thalassa. She is the person I saw in the vision of my dark destiny who is ruling the world and has kept me as a pet. So I am trying to keep her on the side of the angels. Who comforts you when the darkness of your visions leaves you fearful and sleepless? That is Mallory. I was having a very rough night slowly after one of the days where kind of in correlation with Mallory and Garbanzo's story of when did you last put someone in their place? Right before that happened, I warned Mallory that I saw a vision of Garbanzo really kind of stomping her into the ground and said, don't do this. It will not end well. And then it didn't. And so later when I was having a rough night from the nightmare, she came in to comfort me. And who has a malicious spirit following them, and why are you helping the spirit? Garbanzo has a malicious spirit following around. It is the spirit of the man that he killed that triggered whatever it is in him that gives him this tremendous strength. And I am helping him because I think he has the secret to robbing Garbanzo of that dangerous strength. And then both my moves were covered last week. The cards lets me roll dice and then ask some questions directly to the keeper, and then the touch. When I hold on to someone, I can get insights into them. I think that's everything. And I'm going to check to make sure I have the right microphone output.
All right. Let's see. The next 3 weeks is spent on the road. Every place you stay, you find that some of the dirt roads have been muddy, and the soil is more moist than y'all have seen in years. Small sprouts are beginning to spring up. The carnival is set up a few times through Missouri, and you finally arrive at the edge of Oklahoma, which sits in a basin surrounded by sleeping stone giants. The sun is setting, and everyone pitches together to get the mess tent set up. The Rousties hurriedly eat their suppers and get to constructing the rest of the carnival for the morning. As you sit, Professor Shard walks up to Mal and hands her an envelope. The envelope is crimson red, sealed with green wax, embossed with an elaborate D.
What is this?
It arrived from management to you.
Do I know of management frequently sending people letters?
Sorry, to management care of management.
Okay. Oh, that's even more unusual. Does it have a return address?
It does not.
Well, okay, I open it.
It is a letter from Madame Devereaux.
Oh.
Telling of recent events in Blood. She speaks of the blossoming relationship between Archie and Alma, and that there have also been many missed monthlies. It looks like there will be a baby boom in Blood, Illinois.
Ah, yes.
And she says also that she suspects that what you need will be in High Brazil. So be on the lookout for that in your travels.
Okay. Great. I think I was about to say I think I show the letter to Tiresias. I don't do that. But I will show the letter to Thalassa and Garbanzo.
Oh. What is this? Who is this from?
It's from Madame Devereaux.
Oh, right. The lovely woman from the last town.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well, good for them, I suppose. What is this about the thing you need?
A fix for the way that I am.
What do you mean a fix?
A way to not transform like I do. I wasn't always like this. And I'd like to not be like this anymore.
Oh. I see. I suppose. No, I maybe I don't see. Would you be able to maintain all of your fascinating abilities without your transformation?
The abilities that hurt people and hurt me? No.
Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't look terribly comfortable, but I suppose I don't know exactly what it's like for you to transform.
It is agonizing. And I can't always control what I do when I'm under it. And I can't always easily turn back.
Well, that is a shame. Yes, not having that power over yourself. I can see why you would not prefer that. Well, we're going then to find you this cure?
What was the name of it again, Joe?
High Brazil.
It's a place
That
called
is
High Brazil. Do I know where that is?
in Missouri.
It's a place called Missouri. It's in Missouri. A place called High Brazil.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I suppose that's not terribly far from here. Perhaps we can see if that might be our next destination, depending on how this town shakes out.
Yeah. That would be good. I'd like that. And I think I kind of push my hair back over my face a little bit and keep eating my food.
The 24-hour men come back reporting that things are looking pretty good in town. It was one of those early electrified towns, powered by a hydroelectric dam that has been inoperable for quite some time because the river that was running it has since dried up. As night descends into the valley, and as the stars blink into being above you, they're mirrored below you as electric lights spark in the streets below you and twinkle in a waterfall that begins to flow, and a river that divides Cockaigne in twain. And people emerge from their houses confused and elated. Bobble starts running around trying to get the circus hooked up to the local power grid. and a party breaks out in town.
I thought there was word that the power didn't work. I hear the commotion, the sounds of the various engines. What has happened?
They seem about as surprised as we are about it. Suppose it's something we could go into town and take a look at.
Yeah, let's go check it out.
Yes, they seem very surprised, but also incredibly excited. So I'm sure this means fun.
Yes, excitement in the town is sure to draw an attention and a crowd to us once we're set up.
Wonderful.
Thalassa, do you need help getting into your other tank?
It's all right. I've got it.
Oh, no, thank you, darling. I do have help here. And I like reach out for Garbanzo, like lift me.
Oh yeah, little one-arm scoop, like getting a goldfish out of the. You know.
He gets like a big net.
just nets her.
I put in a algae eater into yours while we're gone.
Oh, a little Placostomus? Good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mallory. That is very, very kind of you to offer, though. I do appreciate the help.
Uh-huh. And then I take Tiresias's arm and start leading him towards further into town.
Right. By the time you arrive in town, you're soaking wet, and Tiresias, you smell like dog.
Sorry.
Oh. No problem.
Many of the locals are basically just standing in the streets, jumping up and down. It's the first time it has rained in a very long time. And the streets are a little bit slick, but it is wonderful. You get the smell of petrichor filling in, layered with the wet dog. And shops have decided to open up again because people are about and everybody is happy.
My arms are just out and just enjoying all. There's no semblance of like trying to find cover. This is excellent.
It's coming down enough. It's almost like being underwater entirely, isn't it?
Oh, not quite, but it is the closest reminiscence of home that I've had in a very long time.
I shake out my sopping wet hair directly in front of Garbanzo.
I make sure to shield Thalassa from the dog water.
The river between that divides the city in half. There are several bridges that cross it, and you can see that the water is rushing through. If someone were to fall in, it would be quite dangerous, but it does not. It appears that everything is structurally sound. And people, especially children, are running up to you, especially you, Thalassa. Is the dress down or is the dress up?
The dress is down until we kind of figure out what's going on, but if people seem like they're down to party, I'll probably like adjust it so that my tank is visible.
And yeah, a bunch of the kids are like, is the carnival really here?
Oh yeah.
Yes, in fact, we're getting all set up. Do your parents plan on letting you attend? Do you have the coins for admission?
Yeah, we haven't had anything really to spend our allowances on, so we've got Charlie over here's got 25 cents, and Minnie has like 50 cents. We can actually come see you guys.
Wonderful. You can gain admittance to the carnival, and that should, I think, and I look around to everybody else, that might afford some very nice gifts as an offering. Don't you think? I just look at all the children. Yes, it is a very good idea to bring an offering when you come visit the mermaid at the carnival.
Okay, we'll do that.
Excellent.
And a bunch of kids are also kind of like, oh, at Mal, like, is it? Are you, oh, wow, you're so furry.
Yep. I sure am.
Are you like a mascot? What?
Do you want to say that a little louder?
These are like 6 or 7 years old. Are you like a mascot for the carnival?
No. I'm a performer. I nod
What do you
at
do?
I nod at Thalassa, like her. I'm not a mascot.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. It's okay.
You'll want to come see her fight as well.
Oh, you fight? We do like seeing scraps.
Oh, then you'll probably like to see mine. And I begrudgingly roll up my sleeve and let them feel the fur on my arm. Here.
They're super excited and like, yep. They happily pet.
Likes a little
And
scritch behind the ears as well.
can we?
For paying customers, sure.
Okay, cool. Then we'll see you tomorrow. And the parents now realize what the kids are doing and start to like huddle them. Oh, I'm so sorry, so sorry.
Not a problem, ma'am. Hope to see you at the carnival.
Oh, absolutely. And the evening proceeds as such. If there's anything y'all would like to look for, or
I think just
not-
generally, I would ask any of the random people around, like how long it's been. Like I'm just kind of interested in how friggin' excited they are about this since the
It's
rain
been-
and everything.
it's been 2 seasons worth of growing since we've been able to have any water.
Holy shit! No wonder
Sounds
that river's
awful.
dry.
Everything that we've got, we have had to either siphon off of have imported in from out of town, and that's basically just to keep ourselves going. When we first built the town, it was all for the dam. Then we would take that and reroute it to the farms, but that was not what nature seemed to have wanted. But it's back.
Seems that way, and it's really coming down. Be careful around the flow of it there, especially with all these kids.
Oh, that's right. A lot of them haven't been around long enough to know to stay off the bridges. And you see sort of like the guiding it toward of children wandering across toward the middle of the bridges. It's been quite some time, but yeah, we don't want it to keep going like this, but yeah, it's still a welcome sight now.
Congratulations!
I
Come
think it's
celebrate at the
wonderful.
carnival. Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yes. I have been thoroughly disappointed with the land's seemingly distaste for rain. I would think that, I mean, even in the ocean, we got rain every now and then, but this has been, well, quite awful, to be honest.
It really has been.
Many years ago, I lived in a place that had not seen snow in 20, 30 years. And then the snow came, and the people did not know how to deal with it, were not prepared for what it brought. I hope that in the absence of water, you have not forgotten what to do should your tide rise too high.
Oh no, no, no. We've got a whole system built up. That's people got hired to make sure that the dam didn't bust to be able to redivert to the others to the off ramps.
Good to hear.
Yeah. Many men lost their lives building that. We don't want that to go in vain. Yeah.
Well, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Go away now.
He just
We all
wanders
turn
away.
around.
But yeah, I mean, I think I would offer. I want to look around a little bit, just get some food in town, and maybe I'll buy you something little and nice there, Thalassa, and just kind of want to spend the evening.
All right.
Hey,
Yes, if we were
Garbanzo.
able to.
Scratch me behind the ears, and I'll be the last thing you fucking do.
Noted.
Well, I think it was excellent that we were able to drum up a bit of excitement for the carnival with just some little children around. Think of what we can do if we go find some food and gifts in the town and get people a little excited about what we have to offer.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to do a little advertising.
Yes.
Tyrese,
Perhaps some-
yes. Oh wait, no, you don't.
Yes. No, just some feats of strength or something to draw in those who have not been so easily pulled in by our mere appearance.
But I mean,
Yeah,
we're not
okay.
just here to work, right? This was the place that you saw that we were supposed to go next.
Correct. Simply being around the people, being in their presence, if there is something amiss, we may sense it.
Okay. I guess we go mingle.
Surely someplace will have a table for 4.
You come across an ice cream shop, soda shop type scenario. O'Doyle's Frozen Delights. And they are more than happy to have you in. And you see 2 kids walking out with snow cones.
And we get an egg cream here.
I would not turn up your nose at a snow cone if you have not tried those either. Ice you are familiar with, but flavored ice.
I'm willing to try anything. It's just I've been thinking about that soda you had me try in the last town since we left. Well, I will try anything that anyone feels like buying for me to sample.
Oh, I'll get her a snow cone for sure.
I was already in line to get her a snow cone.
All right, so yeah, Garbanzo gets in line. There's a couple of people ahead of him, and there's Mal coming up to the counter. All right, what do you be?
2 snow cones, please.
All right. Grinds down some ice. We get this. We normally have to have the ice brought in, but we actually are going to be able to get some made tomorrow from our own lake.
Oh, amazing. That's great news. What flavors are these?
Blue.
Ooh, okay, excellent. I will go hand one to Thalassa.
Oh, thank you, Doc.
Yeah, be careful, it's cold.
I can feel that. Yes, I just take a bite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I try it, and I think this is very cold. And I think I like knew that it was gonna be cold, but the mix of like how snow cones have that like you have to crunch it. You can't just be like, let me just hold like hang on to this flavor for a little bit. It's just like you see her just kind of like, oh, and take a bite. Oh, it's so crunchy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but it's a beautiful flavor. What is this?
Blue.
Blue as a flavor. I see. Well, I was already fond of it as a color, and it turns out as a flavor, it's just as gorgeous. Thank you, Mallory. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah. You're welcome. And once Thalassa starts saying blue as a flavor, I'm just staring at her very intensely and eating my snow cone.
What does Mermaid's first brain freeze look like?
I think she dunks all the way under the water. I think the idea would be to like balance out this temperature difference in her head, and the like she wants to submerge in what she knows is familiar. And so I think she takes a bite and is just like this, and then she holds the snow cone up over the water and then just dunks all the way down and then comes back up and is just like soaking wet, and like her hair is dripping and everything is dripping off of her crown and her hair. Oh, takes a moment for the cold to stop.
Yeah, it's called a brain freeze. It's not literally your brain though. You're fine. You're gonna be fine.
I don't like that. How do I make that stop or not happen? I would like to keep eating this blue flavor.
Maybe try eating it a little slower.
All right, I'll try. And I take like just little tiny bites of ice.
All right, your turn comes up. Garbanzo, what flavor would you like to get?
Oh gosh. Well, do they have some sort of ice cream? Now that I've seen snow cones go by.
Yeah, there you got chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, buttercream,
Oh, going Neapolitan.
black licorice.
Oh, 30s were rough, man.
Really rough.
I love black licorice. I'm
Oh,
alone in this.
You can have all of it. I will give
Boy,
it
if
all
we
to
got a
you.
treat for you when you get here.
Yeah, Neapolitan, baby.
Yeah. Scoop of each. Hands it to you. And as you kind of look around, there you do have a small audience in here, especially after the big splash of the mermaid.
How do I ask this? Are the tables bolted down or loose?
Loose.
Oh, good. I think as I'm just like kind of casually walking past the line towards where the group is sitting, I'm like stretching my shoulder a little bit, like, oh, gotta stretch that out. And I just reach over to one of the tables and lift it up over my head and kind of work my shoulder a little bit. Oh, there we are. And then put it down and give a little wink to whoever's closest and then keep going.
Yep, definitely garners some applause.
Yeah, I love. Got 3 different flavors. I assume we've tried 1 or 2 of these, but might as well give it a shot.
Well, I definitely recognize this one as the chocolate, and I think this is vanilla. Am I right?
Yeah, that's right.
What is this in the middle?
Well, it's strawberry.
I don't know if I've had strawberry yet.
Well, we'll give you a little try.
And I think if I'm noticing that there are people watching us, I'm kind of like now making it a performance of like, thank you, my love, bringing me ice cream for the first time on land. And like kind of gesturing to people like, this is my first time ever having any of this. Is it good? And like looking around to the crowd. Which flavor should I try first?
There's a smattering of responses. One that seems to stand out to you is salted caramel.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, if I see that people are yelling that. Oh, yes, salted caramel. That sounds amazing. I'm not quite sure what that is, but I have these 3 flavors. I'll try these, and if you would like to bring me a sample, I'd be more than happy to try that as well.
Yep, somebody runs up to the counter and grabs you one.
I think I'm just eating each one of these flavors and like making a big show of being like fascinated by it. And I splash my tail a bit every time like there's one that I really like, and it makes kind of a fuss about it.
I'll totally
I'm just soaking this place in fish water. It's gross. People are into it. It's fine.
I'll do a show of offering some spoonfuls too. I think we get the world's first airplane spoon feed.
Here comes the fighter plane.
Oh.
All right. And yeah, the rain starts to slow up a bit, and people start heading home. But there's a lot of excitement to see y'all the next morning. So the evening falls. Next morning, there's a line up. The outside talkers are really turning the points, getting folks in. And yeah, a couple of snow cones blew, some salted caramel come to the mermaid's tent. And the morning proceeds well. And except about an hour and a half in, a small child collapses in what appears to be a look of sheer terror frozen on his face.
Was he in one of the tents or just outside on the grounds?
Bally. He's in the midway. Snow cone spilled out of his hand.
Yeah, I mean, I have to assume I have more of like a stage than a tent. So I'll absolutely run over. Is he with like a group or anything, or is this just a kid kind of running around?
Kid was running around on his own. I mean, another 6 or 7 year old. You know,
Wow.
they do that.
Yeah, they do. How do I like? Has he passed out in this terror, or has he just hit the ground, or like?
He's hit the ground and just tense.
Hey there, little bloke. How are you?
Seems catatonic.
Yeah, I'm just like snapping in front of his eyes and like trying to see if I can catch his eye. All that, like just nothing.
Nothing.
Fucking hell.
Tiresias, you feel the spirit that normally wanders around your tent, circling you, bolt out.
I think I instinctively go after it.
Right? Blind man running.
Oh no.
You the spirit ever-changing body is darting around, and if you follow the pace of the child, you're able to maneuver around. Mal and Garbanzo, you two see um, Tiresias running across the midway.
If I see that, I'm going to run and try to catch up with him, or at least make sure that he's not about to go hurt himself.
It is remarkable.
It's almost as if they lay the midway out exactly the same way every time for a reason.
And as you're running through, you start to hear screaming, just like a scream of terror, but just you, Tiresias.
I think I want to try and reach out to get a hold of someone to see what it is they're seeing.
Just a random passerby.
Yeah, like, is the scream, how do I ask this question? Does the scream sound like it's coming from my constant companion?
No,
Okay.
it does not. It
Then
is a
yes,
new
a
voice
random
and a new sound.
passerby. I will kind
All
of
right.
use them as a vessel.
A commotion has been raised, and people are starting to like stand around watching Garbanzo and the child, and a kid just passed out.
Where?
Near the strongman stage.
Could you take me that way, please?
Oh, absolutely. And guides you, and your spirit is where you're being guided.
I'm catching up with Tiresias. You're fucking fast. How you do that?
Ah, memory.
What's going on?
Apparently a child has fainted outside of Garbanzo's stage.
Yeah, I'll start leading him that way.
Okay. Tiresias, the screaming is a constant tone, does not cease. It's just a single long scream that seems to almost turn into a tone.
Do you hear that shout?
Do I hear anything?
Nope.
No. What's going on?
There is a sound. It was a scream, but it has not taken a breath since the moment I heard it begin. Almost like a keen or a wail.
And it's over by Garbanzo's tent?
Yes, it seems to be getting louder the closer we get.
Yeah, all right, let's go. Let's go check it out.
Yes.
All right. And the two of them approach you, Garbanzo, with the child.
What happened?
I'm like starting to lift him up. I don't know. He just sort of keeled over and look, he's not responding to anything. He looks horrified.
And he is stiff.
Is he
I don't know.
breathing?
Let me check. Yeah, and I'll like see if he's otherwise alive.
Yes, there is breath.
Yeah, he's still kicking. I don't know what made him fall over though. He wasn't with anybody.
Is this a situation where could I look around and look at the boy and look at the surroundings and try to see if I could piece together what happened or what might be about to happen? Could I try to keep an eye out for trouble?
Yeah, you can absolutely try to keep an eye out for trouble.
I should never do that move. That was a fail. Every time I've tried to do that move.
All right, so there does not seem to be a fail state for the basic moves. So that's cool. You are not able to find anything. You are just confused. This is a strange situation. You're looking around, you're trying to piece this, like, there's the kid in Garbanzo's arm. There's the people about that were very happy and now are just like trying to figure out what's happened as well. And yeah, there's nothing there immediately there. Tiresias, you hear another tone begin. Off.
A different direction.
Yes.
I have a feeling that another child or another person has just fallen. I'm hearing that sound again.
They're almost harmonizing.
And I want to reach out and touch the forehead of the child in Garbanzo's arms, and try to use the touch to see if there's thought there.
Okay.
All right. 11.
Nice.
We go.
So I think the first thing is, what are you thinking right now?
Right now, it is out. The word out repeated over and over and over again. Out, 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 out. How, how. Will, will. I. Get, out, out. And you just hear that repeated. And it is so fast and so repeated. And then it blurs together again into that tone.
And I think the other one is, I'm kind of torn. Either my intent is to see if I can see what they saw last. So I'm not sure if that's, what are you afraid I'll see, or like, what secret do you know about your last moment?
Okay, yeah, we'll go with that. We'll roll with that. What secret do you know about the last moments?
Okay.
He was eating the snow cone and had started getting that brain freeze headache. It was like the third one that he'd had. Got a few and then just kept coming up. And that brain freeze just kind of crept over, and then he started thinking, oh God, how am I going to get out? And a single moment kept splitting and splitting and splitting in his head, and he could not see out. It just became one moment trapped in time. And his body couldn't move. His mind was moving faster than any of his movements could allow.
Seems as though he's stuck in a moment, a loop of time. Infinite possibilities and so frozen, unable to choose. You must go in that direction, and I point towards the other wailing. See if there's someone else who has fallen.
Right. Do I take the kid? Do I leave him?
Take him. You can carry more than one.
Yeah. I'll nod at Mallory and take off that direction.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Meanwhile, back in the mermaid tent
Oh,
where ice cream and
no.
snow cones have been given, what do you do? What are you doing with your treasures given?
Oh, I'm eating them. Absolutely. Because they are gifts and they are meant to be consumed. But I think I am also keeping in mind Mallory's advice of taking small bites so I don't get brain freezes, but I probably am not very good at restraint. So my hair is probably soaking wet a lot because now I'm not in my little cylindrical tank. I'm in my big tank that's in my car that when people come into the mermaid car, they can see the big tank where I can swim back and forth, and I've just got all the shelves lined with all of the gifts people have given me, and I'm just like leaning over the edge, like taking snow cones and ice creams from people.
All right. Cool. So back out to the three running.
Uh-huh.
Uh, there is a little girl that is stuck with this look of terror on her face. The same sort of tone screaming out to you, Tiresias.
Um, there's no fancy way to ask it. Did she have anything, like anything in her hands or anything she's dropped?
It does appear that there was a snow cone. Psst.
Fucking hell.
What's the matter?
It's another kid. Just frozen on the ground with the. They were eating a fucking snow cone. Same as the other one.
And another tone begins.
Where are they coming from?
What?
The snow cones.
Well, the place we just went with they normally get their ice from another town, but they said that today was the first day that they were going to be able to make their own.
Yeah, they sure did, didn't they?
This is why we don't allow outside food.
That is all I'm ever going to be able to think of when I see those signs on a building. No outside food or drink allowed.
We don't want curses here.
No curses.
Don't bring your own curses. You can only get them from inside our
Only
establishment.
the curses we provide, because those we know how to deal with.
And you didn't pay for them here, so.
Yes.
Fucking hell. This may have been said and I missed it. Is it still raining today?
Very light mist.
Okay. Okay, but it hasn't kept up. Okay.
No, it's more like a fog. A glorious
Cool.
Cool.
fog.
Cool.
You've got visibility about 60 feet. I mean, it's not. It basically looks like when you're in the midway that the carnival is all that exists.
Oh. Spooky and wonderful. Okay.
Thalassa wanted gifts. Someone check on her. Someone else. Find security. Make sure no one brings any more in. Find them and put them in the garbage.
Fuck. All right. And I'm beelining towards Thalassa's tent with 2 children in my arms, I guess.
As you run, you start to see more and more people, but not just snow cones. You find glasses of water also that were once held by these people that have fallen. Do you pick up everybody?
Oh my god. No, I mean, if there's, it obviously is happening to a lot of people, then I think I am resigned to this is a way bigger problem than me carrying somebody to a doctor. So, I think I keep going.
All right. Yeah. You burst into Thalassa's car. And there she is with a snow cone.
I'm setting the kids down and swatting that out of her hand.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Something's wrong with the fucking water.
I was eating that.
Exactly. Something's going on out there. People keeling over left and right. In the snow cones, the water they're drinking. Place is fucked up.
Is that what the... I heard some yelling outside. I couldn't quite see what was happening.
Yeah, I don't know.
What the water?
I guess that's what they kept saying. Mallory reminded us that whatever they make that shit out of, they would bring it in, but now they got to make it out of their own lake from the rain.
Well, I mean, I've been eating these all day.
Yeah, and I'm up like kind of holding her cheek and like looking in her eyes. Like, how are you feeling?
How do I feel?
You right now, Garbanzo seems to be talking kind of slow.
Do I have any indication in her eyes of that? Like, I don't know. Do I see anything as I'm inspecting her?
I mean, it's not real slow, but like maybe he didn't get enough coffee this morning.
I feel fine, but darling, you're going to have to speak at a normal pace.
Fucking hell. All right, do you trust me?
Of course, my love.
This is going to be very unpleasant. Lean over the tank.
Oh, goodness. I do.
I'm gonna put a finger down her throat, try to gag her and make her throw up all this water.
All right. Yeah.
My car?
Ugh.
Yeah. Do mermaids have uvulas?
Probably.
It comes out of her gills.
The gills. Oh.
It's just all of it.
Yeah, it just starts to exude out of her. Yeah.
Yep, I think it's
It's a font
have
of
uvulas.
fluids.
It's through the mouth, through the gills. Yeah, that's bad.
You're gonna have to get this car detailed.
Yeah, I'm not cleaning this.
Over the mouth, through the gills.
Well, every episode we do something that requires the Lass's tank to be thoroughly clean.
That's why I had her lean over.
Yeah, he at least made sure it wasn't in the water. I do appreciate that. Could have taken me outside, but I'll take what I can get. Chat, nobody clip this.
Let's all agree now that this never happened.
Okay, yeah, I throw it all up.
Yeah, so you are now emptied and
Clip that though.
Emptied.
I'm just holding her by the tail, just
Like a tube of toothpaste.
yeah, okay, cool. So
Oh,
God.
just wring the fish out. It's fine.
okay, I'm empty. We're good. It's all over the floor.
Yeah,
What happens next?
You are. Garbanzo does not seem to be slowing down anymore. That you notice.
Sorry, love. Are you all right?
Ugh. Oh, that was awful. Oh, the blue flavor again coming up. Oh.
Sorry, whatever it is. I didn't want it to get you too.
Ugh. Ugh. I'm just like wiping my neck and my mouth and please give me something to clean. I just dunked myself in my tank. I'm just like, I need to get this cleaned up.
Oh.
I think I'd come back up and all right. Talk to me.
I don't know. We saw this kid keel over, and then we watched Tiresias sprint down the midway. That was
Oh.
fucking wild. And it's like he was beelining to each one of the next that would fall over, and there's at least a few dozen that I passed.
Well, you seem to be talking normal. I was afraid you were slowing down a bit. That might have been.
Not normal
Oh.
has not slowed down more.
Oh. Oh, I misinterpreted
no.
that. So it's just the same as what was before? Okay.
He's talking more like this.
Okay. Okay, but it's not even more slow. It just hasn't changed since I threw up. Cool.
Correct.
Your words are so slow. Is this you or is this me?
It's whatever was in that water, and I'm trying to talk faster for her as she's saying that. Is it going any slower? Or is it staying the same?
You're talking faster than you normally do?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's starting to sound a little bit more normal. Hey, Thalassa, how often do you get your tank changed?
I mean, I don't know, however often you're supposed to do that for a fish. I imagine, like, fairly frequently. I don't know how, I suppose it depends on resources. Probably not while we're traveling, but when we get to a new place.
But you've also been doing a lot of like splishing and splashing because this seems to be like a lot of happy. So they're having to refill it more often?
Yeah, probably.
And if the
Okay.
resource is plentiful, like say
Yeah.
during a heavy downpour.
Yeah. Sounds like
Okay,
a good time to do that. Would be when we get to a town that has a surplus of water for me.
Mm-hmm. Cool, cool. All right.
Oh no.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every time you dunk down, like it started up again.
Uh-huh.
But it's just a little bit slower. And people seem to be walking by a little bit slower. But
I don't. Why is I threw it all up? Why is it all still so slow?
Maybe it's the water
Ooh.
you're in. Just don't put your head under, don't get your gills in, don't breathe in any of the water, all right?
I need the water. I'm a mermaid.
Yes, just don't put your head under until we figure this out. All right?
Okay. All right.
All right, I'll be back. And I'm gonna take off
All
looking for the
right.
other two.
I'm just like I think I have like straps from the ceiling that I can use to like pull myself out if I need to, and I'm just kind of like holding on to that, like watching everybody walk by really slow, just like keeping myself from going under.
yep, and Garbanzo jogs away.
Oh no.
All right, where are you heading?
I'm just looking for Tiresias again, I think, since he kind of, I don't know, didn't exactly know what was happening, but sure more than any of the rest of us.
Have you moved Tiresias since you and Mal?
No, I don't think so. I think, telling the two of them to set to tasks, I think that I I think that I'm not exactly certain where I am. And I think that the sound is not helping
Yeah, it is.
because it's increasing and it's
It is
harder to
increasing in.
focus.
Mhm. It is. There's a a rainbow of sounds pouring into your head from all directions.
Yeah. So no, I think I'm standing in the same place, just kind of tilting my head, trying to hear something that isn't there when Garbanzo comes back.
Yeah.
What do you got, old man? Anything new?
No, it's more and more. Surely that many people can't be eating snow cones.
I think it's in all of the water.
Oh. Oh dear. Take me back to my tent, please.
All right. I'll lead him back. And I
All right.
assume, is it still like, is it more and more people going down?
Mm-hmm. Everybody that looks well hydrated is, yep.
What did you encounter on your trip to Thalassa?
Well, I made her vomit up what she'd been eating. She'd still been, like, she's not perceiving everything right. It's like everything's too slow for her. Sound of my voice, movement.
Yes, the child, their mind was like they had sped up to the point of just stuck in a moment of lightning strike. Oh dear, she breathes the stuff. And when we get back to my tent, I'm going to get out my bag of sand and lay out a circle and cast the bones into it.
All right.
Seven.
Oh boy.
So I mark darkness because the truth that I see shakes me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the question that I have to ask is, what happened at that lake? Either before or while it was dry. Like, it seems that some kind of ill thing has happened here. And from hearing Mallory say, you know, oh yeah, they're getting their ice from there, and Garbanzo saying the water from there, my first thought is something in the water is corrupting it. And so I'm asking about the past, if there was an event that happened.
All right. So what you see is a dust devil coming through carrying spores. Mold spores from a faraway place. And when they got deposited in the lake bed, they were dormant. And then once the rains came, they started to grow and grow. And this yellow slime mold sludge started to seep up around the lake bed and is releasing more of these spores into the water. And it is creeping upwards toward the land. And you see tendrils of this slime mold just creeping across the far side of the lake away from the city. Slowly and up around trees. And your vision, you can't tell if it is the past or the present anymore, or the future. Like they're all kind of merging into one as the mold is along trees and winds come through, blowing this yellow dust across the land, seeping into all of the waters. And everyone becoming immobilized throughout the world, frozen in these moments of time, unable to move, unable to make a decision, unable to even kill themselves because they are trapped in their own heads. And they pass. It is stillness. Deadly, growing stillness.
I think we see this line of sand with the bones in the middle and just like droplets of water hitting the sand and it getting clumpy. And we see that there's just water coming out from underneath Tiresias' mask. I reach a hand out to Garbanzo. I have seen a plague. Spores in the water, in the wind, leading to the death of all. The water, it hydrated it, brought it to life, has helped it grow. A plague is upon us.
Plague. That's fucking Four Horsemen type shit. That's a different deed. What was it doing?
Headed to the forest, growing up the trees, blossoming in the buds and traveling on the wind.
Is what it does. It just freezes them up and then what?
Then nothing. Stillness. And then death. And then eternal silence.
Stillness. Fuck, man. I don't think this is pestilence. I think this is sloth.
Yes. Perhaps. Perhaps the sins and the horsemen are not as separate as we think. This may not be a plague, but it is, I have seen. Plagues, what they do. I don't know how you fight something this small. And I think I just waver and collapse back into the chair.
I think I sit down with a heavy thud too. How do you fight this? How the fuck do you fight this?
We must hope that there is an embodiment of it, or perhaps destroying the forest so that it cannot take wind. I don't know. We must get to the forest. The solution may even simply be in the water, which puts Thalassa in even more danger, but she may be the only one who can see it. Find Mallory. We must go.
I'm gonna burst back out.
Yeah, I would have been looking for the professor. We gotta shut the show down.
But the show must always go on.
Well,
What is going on?
today it's not going to. Something's fucked with the water.
All right. Shall I evacuate?
Yeah. Okay.
Emergency?
Yeah.
All right. You see him take his hand and claws emerge, and he snaps. And a ripple bursts and pushes all of the people from the carnival, all of the rubes.
Every time you do that, it's still spooky as hell.
This is my place. This is our place. Within it, we can do amazing things.
Yeah. So yeah, Garbanzo, I think you see me still standing with the professor.
Tiresias has sort of answered it. There's something coming up out of the lake, some sort of plague that's doing this. They drop and they don't move. They just die.
How's Thalassa?
Everything's fucked for her, but she's not like them.
Okay.
We're all slowed down, and every time she breathes that shit in, it gets worse.
So what do we gotta do?
Hope that it's the same as the last place. Hope that there's something that we can punch to death.
We are both really good at that.
Yeah. Yeah. We may need Thalassa, though. If it's something that she can affect in the lake, I don't want to put her there, though.
You and I both don't want anything to happen to her.
Hey, let's get something real fucking straight, all
What?
right? I don't want anything to happen to you either. Or Tiresias. Or the professor. Or anyone else in this fucking town. Some of us are a little better at handling things. So we gotta do something. So let's fucking do it, alright?
Yeah.
Right.
So do we go get her, or do we check it out first and come back for her?
Might as well bring her along. Seems like time's of the essence.
Yeah. All right.
I'll head that way to see how she's doing by now.
I'll go with him.
Okay. And you enter into Thalassa's tent or car, and she is
Yeah, I'm still just holding on. And I think my head just kind of like, I'm just using all my upper body strength to keep myself out of the water.
Fucking hell, love.
Oh, you've returned.
How are you feeling?
Wonderful. What?
How are you feeling?
Yes. You're very slow. I can breathe air just fine, but I do eventually need to breathe water. I can't keep myself out of this forever. Would you mind moving me to my temporary tank, please? I don't think that one has been refilled much.
Yeah,
since we've been here.
Yeah. We gotta move, so we'll put you in the one that you were moving around in last night. We haven't switched it.
Yes, there's less water in here, and that could be difficult later, but I think it will be better for me for now. Thank you.
Get her
Move
in
over
there.
to that one.
all right.
Oh, what do we do? How do we fix me? I don't know what this is.
That's what we're gonna go look and find out.
All right, wonderful. Wonderful. Let's go.
I kind
Hello, Mallory.
of sighed to Mallory too. Talk as fast as you can with it, because it's like fucking torture, I guess, to listen to us talk slow.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go. Let's head to Tiresias.
Oh, good. Yes, he may know something about all of this. We should ask him.
He might, yeah. And we'll meet back
Pushing
up.
her out.
Yeah.
All right. You approach Tiresias' tent. I assume still kind of slumped.
Enjoying a glass of water.
Oh, yes, good.
Oh no!
And
He's got like 3 of them that he's just switching between.
I brought these from home, don't worry.
From ancient Greece.
Yes.
Hello, Tiresias. How are you doing today?
Does this seem to be affecting you drastically?
I hear everything very slowly, apparently. And people are moving very slowly, and I am moving very slowly, but I don't seem to be on the ground, not moving like many of the other people.
You are talking fast to everybody else.
I'm talking fast?
Oh no.
They hear me talking fast?
You were just talking very fast, like your brain is going really fast, like kind of like you're on a little bit of caffeine and you.
Is that what I hear, though?
Nope.
Okay, so I hear, I'm trying to kind of match everyone's speed being slow, but they're hearing me just like, yes, it's a wonderful day, and everybody is out and about, but it seems like they're not doing too well because they're all on the ground, they can't move, and I don't know what's happening, but I seem to think that, I'm going the same speed as everybody else, but you're all talking very slowly, and they moved me over here, and I thought, usually we're moving at a very steady pace, but I thought it was very slow. It was a bit leisurely, actually.
Yep. All right.
We should. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we should go.
Yes.
Where to?
The lake, perhaps the woods nearby. I saw something growing out of the lake, reaching for the trees. It gets into the trees, gets into the blossoms, and then takes to the wind. But I can't tell if that has happened, is happening, or will happen.
All right.
Yeah, I think I'll help him up. And let's start heading towards the lake.
All right. So the fastest route to the lake is following the river through town. And as you go through Tiresias, it sounds like somebody is laid down on a church organ.
Can I assume we're seeing people, like, are there people on the streets or?
Yeah, you see people that are clenched up tightly in that with that same look, and other people are trying to bring them into homes, bring them into safe places, and you see people are like trying to figure out, like, do we feed them? Do we get them water? What do we do? What do we do? Like, maybe splash some water on their faces. What do we do?
No, not that.
Yeah, I think if we hear anyone even just mentioning the word water, just shouting, "Don't drink any water."
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, if I put my hands up and plug my ears, does the sound change at all?
That is a mighty good question. Because I really enjoy the thought of Tiresias walking around town with his fingers in his ears, I'm going to say yes.
Okay. So it is affected by like a physical barrier to some extent.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is drowned out a bit.
Okay. You'll have to let me know when we're there.
Oh no.
I can't hear you right now.
Oh no. Yeah, I just I pat his elbow in acknowledgement. And keep walking.
I'm just slumped over the tank. I don't understand. Why is he covering his ears? Does he hear something that none of us can? Or is he just not like the sound of something? I'm not quite sure what's going on. I don't hear anything at all, but he seems to be very upset by something. What is happening? Do either of you know?
Not quite, but he seems to be a little bit more sensitive about certain things than the rest of us.
Oh, well, yes, I suppose that makes sense, and I can understand that. Well, to the forest or to the lake, I suppose.
I think I'm just giving Garbanzo. I'm just looking at him, just sort of like raising my eyebrows of like, this is. Look at what we're doing this afternoon. Just leading a almost completely an old man who can't see and can't hear anymore, and then a partially passed out mermaid. Just
You know what I call it?
What?
Tuesday.
Huh.
I'm real fucking glad all I drink is ale.
Me too.
Yeah, Tiresias, you are feeling parched.
Mm.
Oh no.
I mean, it's been a long day. You've done a lot of talking and a lot of running.
I
You
did a
are
lot of
not used to running.
Oh,
So much exercise.
And some crying, which is like sort of dehydrated
Oh,
you a
it's
little
so
bit.
Oh
true.
yeah.
I've lost my electrolytes.
Get your
Someone get
Powerade
this man a
when we stop.
Gatorade.
It's
Someone
what
get this man
plants
some
crave.
But yeah, I think just, man, keep heading through this town. I don't think that there's anything that I can do to help these people individually other than try to seek out this source. So yeah, heading towards the lake.
All right. You arrive, and you see that the lake only exists because of the dam. Otherwise, this would also be a river. You all right, Mal, you smell something off. This does not smell like forest. It smells moldy.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Something's sick here.
What do you mean sick?
The forest smells moldy, but not like not something not like not like natural, not the way that it should. You know, sometimes old forests smell, but yeah, something's not good here. Can I try to can I try to use my senses to see if I can pinpoint where that's originating from?
The lake.
Okay. Yeah.
You do like when you're trying to like focus around, yeah, you start to see some of those bits of where small thin lines of mold coming out of the lake.
Whatever this is, it's in the lake.
Well, Tiresias mentioned that it was something like creeping along that would be carried along in the air. Is this like a plant releasing pollen? Is this like a mold? Are they spores? Whatever is this?
Yeah, it's like some sort of spores. Do you know what those are?
Oh yes, unfortunately.
Okay, some kind of spores in the lake that are making everyone sick. It's making you sick.
Wonderful. I am moldy.
You're perfect.
Perfectly moldy. How do we stop this? Oh, somebody tell Tiresias to uncover his ears.
Yeah, I'll grab his hands and like gently try to pull them away.
But
How's this?
We have
sound?
arrived.
slightly less. Only slightly. It's so many voices.
Well, I was really hoping we'd see a gentleman standing around made out of eyeballs, but it doesn't seem like that's the case.
Tiresias, it is much quieter out here in the woods. There are very few people here.
Very
You only
few.
hear the Yeah, you only hear 3 people. 3 tones
Oh.
toward the
There
dock
is
or toward the dam?
There are some voices still in this direction, but only a handful.
What are they doing out here?
Right question.
Slowly dying.
Yeah.
Well, yes, that makes sense. I suppose the question is, what were they doing out here? If they were involved with harvesting the water to bring into town to use for something, maybe they encountered whatever creature or being or something. I imagine, if this is similar to what we faced last time, there must be some sort of entity.
Yes. What are we looking at here? I know they said there was a lake and a river.
Yeah, it only looks like there's a lake here because they dammed the river. But
Oh,
I'm smelling and seeing a bunch of spores in the water. I think that's what you were talking about.
yes.
Yeah.
The dam, is it that direction? And I point in the direction that those three shrieks are coming from.
Sure
It
is.
is.
That is where the voices lay.
All right. Sounds like as good a place as any to start.
I like that a lot better than going for a swim. Let's go.
Let me ask the two of you. Something like this can grow because of stagnant water. But if the water were flowing, it may not be able to take root. Have either of you ever performed a feat of strength like destroying a dam?
Fuck, man. Not like that. What the fuck? Might as well try.
First time for everything, darling.
Something to consider.
Yeah, I'll start leading him towards the dam.
All right. You see, you walk in to where the control room is. There's a bunch of um, uh, hydroelectric generators within. So there's spinning turbines and capacitors, and you see a control room up up a set of stairs, and yeah, there's pipes and valves running all over the place.
Do we see any of the people as we make our way in?
There's only 3 people in here, according to Tiresias. You suspect that they're probably in the control room.
Now I'll make my way that way to kind of, I just want to see like what the situation is.
They have iron grips on the wheels. 2 of them do on control wheels, and 1 is on the floor. And the screams are the tones in here as well.
I'll describe them to Tiresias. Oh, I don't know what the fuck any of this does.
Does it perhaps release the dam?
Shit, I don't know. I don't suppose we're lucky enough to have any clearly labeled switches in this room.
OSHA doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Is there an instruction manual anywhere?
No. It's been a couple years since anyone has had to do anything in here. That basically it's just tribal knowledge.
Well, I suppose that makes sense, that anybody who would work in here would already know what they were doing. They wouldn't have any need to write anything down, and anyone that would take over for them, they would just train themselves, so... Oh, well.
What's this dam made out of?
Concrete, rebar,
Great.
crunchy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's That's a hell of an idea, Tiresias. If you think that's it, you'll need to help me find the weakest point to bring this fucker down. Otherwise, I don't know what else to do.
You could
I don't.
break these guys' wrists and turn the wheels yourself.
Yeah.
It is honestly a guess. Molds have a hard time with flowing water. I could only hope this one is the same. Or we may simply be passing it on, spreading it a different way.
Oh.
Well, if we leave it as it is, it's going to spread anyway, eventually.
Yes.
I don't think much is going to happen if Mal and I go punching at it. So we try that, or we keep hunting for some other son of a bitch that's making this happen. Because washing this away, is that going to wake these people up? They've already drank the shit, haven't they?
Yes, perhaps, I don't know, we would need to speak to someone who deals in tinctures, some kind of medication they could take to kill a bacteria or a spore in their system, something far beyond anything I have experienced. The modern
that sounds like a wonderful
sciences.
idea.
I would like to point out that breaking the dam would likely flood the town.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
I hate that I'm going to ask this. Collectively, do you think that would be something we could possibly deduce? Would we even realize that?
Somebody said in the town, right? They said the only reason the town is here is because the dam is here or something like that.
Yeah. They
You're
did say
right.
that.
Good call.
Okay, so we do know
Yeah,
that.
and you know the waterfall comes out of it into the river.
Oh,
Okay,
boy.
yeah, good call. I don't know. I mean, besides, I think I still have that thought of like last ditch. Maybe that'll do something. So I'm looking around, but I'm also like I'm just trying to see if there are any signs of not necessarily obviously another person here, but like has anyone been through here? Has somebody done something physically to start this up, to like get those spores? Or I mean, I don't know exactly what I'm trying to ask here. Just if there's any sign of a person responsible now that we're here.
All right, we're not going to roll a size up because that's the wrong game.
Keep an eye out for trouble.
I mean, you know, if no isn't, that's fine. I don't know.
It does not appear as if somebody has messed with it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, folks. There's a few things I can break in here that might rupture it enough to wash everything away, but it washes everything away. If these people don't wake up, they drown. If they do wake up, they might anyway.
Yes, and it's hard to determine whether or not this is a natural phenomenon, something that was left behind that was activated by the rain and the lake refilling, or if this is something nefarious like the last town we were in and there was somebody behind it. I mean, that would at least give us a target.
I think the only way we could find that out is maybe getting to the bottom of that lake, but I don't like our chances with that.
Well,
sometimes the things I see are not a one-for-one conversion of reality. But what I saw deliver the spores was a dust devil, dropping them into the hard pack of the dry lake. I did not see a base, a piece underwater, a hive of it, but that does not mean it does not exist. A heart of it.
Well, one of us that could get down there a lot faster, but is gonna breathe that shit in as she goes.
Well, I've already begun, so toss me in. If I die, at least I die in the water.
He has a point. If she freezes up, she'll be all right underwater for a while. It's the same stakes as everyone else. I don't want her to freeze up.
If there's something to be found underwater, she is our only hope. If there isn't, and she freezes under there, we still don't have a solution other than destroying the dam, which dams the people.
I don't like this.
I only ask one thing. If I die, please don't bury me. So wasteful. But if I freeze up down there and I don't see anything, then, well, I suppose there's nothing I can do about it anyway. But if I go down there and I do see something, or do I try and figure out what it is first, or do I return to let you know before something even worse happens to me? I kind of need an order of operations here. This seems very dangerous.
Maybe check in with us then.
Yeah,
if
tell
you
us.
Find something. Because, now listen, once you get underwater, you're going to have to still hold your breath. Don't breathe in through your gills. Don't get that shit in.
Ugh. It's very difficult to control, darling.
I believe you, but you're going to have to try. Get down there as fast as you can, see what you see, and get up as quick as you can.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
How fast do you swim? I assume very.
Hopefully as fast as she's talking.
Well, it's been a minute, to be honest. It's been quite a while since I've been in the ocean, but I think that if I got back in the water, well, I suppose my memory will serve me well, and I am quite fast, actually. I was able to outrun the people that were chasing me, so I like my odds. Well, normally I would like my odds. I don't feel like I'm quite up to my usual standard right now, but normally I would have no problem with this.
What about with, 95 extra pounds on your back?
Whatever are you talking about?
If there is something down there, some plant life, I think there's only one of us who could shred it properly to kill it. I turn and I look at Mallory.
How deep is this
Uproot a
lake, do you
plant.
think? Ugh. Yeah.
Do we have any weights?
Any weights?
Shitload
Yes.
back at the carnival.
If you held on to some weights, I could pull you even faster and get you down to the bottom very, very quickly. It would be getting back up that would be the problem. I would have to hold my breath as well. I like the idea of being in the open water, but unfortunately, my tank is properly salted, and I imagine this lake is not. So I would not be able to breathe as easily as I normally would anyway. But of course, that is up to you.
Perhaps some tools or pipe equipment that might be inside here.
There is a lot of pipe.
Yeah. Okay, let's grab whatever looks heavy.
Is there a rope?
There's chain.
I don't love the thought of that, but perhaps we could tie this to you, and I could pull. It'd be easier than to hold on to you and swim.
I'm liking this
Gotcha,
plan
right.
less and less the more we talk about it, but yeah. Let's do it before I change my mind, huh?
And
Go
I
ahead.
think that as the I imagine Garbanzo gathering the chain, I grab a hold of Mallory's shoulders. I'm sorry to send you this way. I would not risk you for the world, but I think you are the only one who could truly destroy something like that.
You have a lot of confidence in me. I just hope
Yes.
it's not ill-placed.
Well, just remember, muscle isn't the only thing that matters.
Okay. I trust you.
And I you.
I
All
kind
right.
of like knock my head against his a little bit. Garbanzo, how's that heavy shit coming?
Nice and heavy.
I
Yeah,
can pull you very fast when we're in the water, Mallory, but you will have to move faster than you are currently, unfortunately.
I was an okay swimmer in school.
Dog paddle.
I didn't want to say it, but yeah.
I'll take that hit for the team.
Yeah, so I think just wrapping some chain around me, grabbing onto some heavy stuff that we grabbed from the dam.
Yeah, there's a bunch of pipes, and you can grab some rebar. You can. Garbranzo could probably twist some of the rebar around your leg.
I mean, I do have to swim out of this at the end of this, right?
We could just use the rebar to tie all of the weights together, and then he could make you handlebars, and then you could hold on to that as it sinks.
Okay.
So basically, Mallory is riding you like a Harley into the ocean, into the lake.
I want
That's
the fan
the
art.
I need.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've talked a lot about art here.
We didn't say anything about riding the mermaid.
How awesome is that image, though? Just a werewolf riding a mermaid into battle.
Have it twisted like the ape hangers, you know.
Yeah.
Oh no.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. This all tracks. So you go.
The science checks out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, science checks out. So let's see here. So you're gonna just toss her into the water?
So imagine that I probably go first.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we have a chain that goes to from Mallory that I'm holding so that I can get down there, and since I can see a little easier, try and kind of figure out where we're going. And the idea is to just get her to the bottom as fast as possible, and I will get her to where she needs to be.
All right. So then I am going to have you. Yeah. Bones? Seems like a bone sort of thing.
Okay, I'm just rolling plus my bone stat.
Yeah.
Okay. So I rolled a 6 plus 1 bones gives me a 7. Ooh. Real glad you didn't have me roll breath.
Well, that would have been silly to have you roll breath to hold your
My breath.
breath underwater. Yeah. So you dart down, dragging Mal with you. And
Right before I
yeah,
go under.
you see.
I just take a big
We're
breath
both
right
just
before I
like,
go under.
All right. You dart down. You swim through. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do this in real time. So, however long you can hold your breath. And you see this spawning yellow mass undulating as it kind of creeps out. And you can see it growing, and it sort of duplicates with purpose as it stretches out along the bottom of the lake.
I grab onto the chain and I pull it twice to let her know that I found where we're going. And then when I feel her let go of the weight, then I'm just taking her right over there.
Okay. And it is surprisingly clear when you're down here. This is basically just, since it's been still, it is all rainwater that has been flowing in, following your path from Oklahoma to here. All of that rain that preceded you. And this is where it's been flowing.
Huh.
What would you like to do with this undulating mass?
I would, man, I would really like to, I have no idea how well a fully transformed werewolf swims, but we're gonna test that theory.
We're gonna find out.
Definitely. As I swam towards it and I had the chain, I brought my tail up and I whipped her forward through the water so that she could like get at it as quick as possible.
Cool. Yeah, I've seen enough Derby for that to seem perfectly reasonable.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Cracks the whip.
Basketball special.
Basketball special. So yeah,
All right.
I'm gonna roll my, I'm gonna go wolf. That's, that is a 9.
Oh.
So on a 7
All
to
right.
9, I can only choose one of these. So I think I would like to do extra harm when I lash out with unsettling violence. This does mean that I have not picked the option of you can easily transform back.
Ooh.
Great. But I would like to just start attacking and slashing at this undulating mass of spores.
All right. Let's have you lash out with unsettling violence.
Let's do it. That is an 8.
All right. Yeah. Choose your 2 downfalls.
Okay.
You attract unwanted attention. You take it further than you intended.
Okay.
Someone precious to you pays for your rashness.
Oh no.
Or mark darkness as the blood stains your hands.
Okay. I think probably you take it further than intended, and I'm sorry, Thalassa. I think it makes sense that someone precious pays for my rashness.
Okay. as you start just scrapping, are you biting too?
Probably, yeah. I'm in wolf
Oh,
form,
yeah.
and I don't. My judgment is not great, so I'm probably swallowing a lot of
Cool.
water right now.
Cool. Yeah, you are, and in doing so, you thrashed with the chain, and it catches you off guard, Thalassa, and you inhale sharply. Um, and you start to feel things slow down fast. Mal,
Yep.
you start to slow down too. Your claws rake across, and it shreds across, scattering the yellow across the lake bed, allowing it to slowly bubble up to the surface. Meanwhile, back up to the top, uh, Garbanzo, you see all sorts of bubbles with these spores. And these clouds of yellow just kind of float up. And Tiresias, the little boy, whispers in your ear, I think it wants to talk to you.
I think there's this turn to the voice, and then a straightening. Where?
All around us. Your friends have let it go.
Can you hear me?
I'm right here.
You hear billions of very small voices.
You know, Garbanzo, this is on me. I should make some kind of a hand gesture or something when I'm. This is
Or is this
such a
your-
frequent occurrence.
Yeah, sorry.
That's fine. It's fine. It's been released.
Yeah. Wait. So like, I see these things bubbling up. Is that?
And they
That's
just
not.
drift away.
Yeah. Fuck the spores. They're like fucking floating off.
Carried in the wind.
Oh no.
Underwater,
Yep.
you cease to move. What are you thinking as your body stops working for you? All of a sudden, your thoughts are so much faster than your body can handle. You've got this rage building up inside of you, and you have no way to release it. You're angry at everything. You want to destroy this Mal. You want it dead. You want it obliterated, but you can't force yourself to move. Everything is going so fast. And Thalassa, you reel from the pain of the chain that is whipped across your tail, tearing it a bit. and you feel the pain and you feel betrayal that someone else has disregarded you and just gone against everything that they seem to mean to you, but just let it go by. And as you watch this anger, as the basin of the lake starts to cloud up around you, and you twist around and you're thinking, at least I am home. At least I can feel the cold pressure. And then you lock, unable to move. And Tiresias, you hear your friends thinking faster and faster and drowning out into two singular tones. What would you like to do?
No. No, Garbanzo, it has them.
Fucking hell. Fuck. Mallory's gonna drown.
What do you want?
We want to just let it be. To be a leaf on the wind.
We have to get them out. I don't know how we make them right, but we have to get them out.
Wow.
Oh no.
I don't mechanically know what to do, so I just am gonna. I throw the fucking hat off and I dive in. I take a deep breath because I don't know
Okay.
what else.
You dive into the water, your breath held. And it is difficult to see with the silt that has been kicked up. But you can kind of make out the image of your friends slowly twisting. And since they're both attached to the chains, they're sinking down to the bottom. I think you're muted.
Nope.
No.
He's fine.
Okay.
If they're both attached, I'm gonna just. I don't know. I just swim as fucking hard as I can to try to get that chain literally in my teeth and just swim up.
Okay. Cool. Would you say that this could be unflinching?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
if this is like enduring the darkness, I would really call that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's roll that bones.
Okay. Yeah. There is just there's no panic. There's just these are the steps. Like that training kicks in of it doesn't matter if bullets are whizzing past, if explosions are happening, if poison demon water is in my mouth right now. It's just do the thing as efficiently as possible. Oh, bones instead of breath. Here we go. 9 plus 1. 10.
All right. Yeah,
Oh, cry.
you feel the strain against your teeth and just nothing. You swim up with them, locked behind them, and they start to twist around behind you, and you start to feel like maybe the weight of them is going to be pulling you back in. Maybe the twisting of them around each other is going to crush you as you swim back to the surface. And you break the surface, and they follow behind you back up to the top, twisted in an embrace that they can neither feel nor respond to.
I just grim determination and just fucking getting through that water to the shore to drag them up and in particular make sure Mallory's head is above water.
All right. You get them back.
And I think that when he gets to shore, Tiresias is on the ground, feeling around, trying to feel, like, I saw those images of, like, the yellow veins and stuff. I'm trying to feel some of that growth.
Yeah, there were definitely spots where they were starting to leak out.
Then I want to try to touch it.
All right. Do the thing.
Eight. So I get 1.
Hmm.
What are you afraid I'll see?
It is afraid that you will see that it wants you to stop it so that it can stop. It wants to be, it doesn't want to have to keep doing what it is doing. It does not want to keep searching for others for that stillness.
I think my hands buried inside of this gore, as he is clattering out of the water with the two of them. I just tilt my head up to the sky. I can give you the peace you desire, the stillness, but you must tell us how to end you.
Do not know.
It doesn't know. It wants to die, to be done. But it doesn't know how to let go. What can stop it?
I'm dragging them on, getting everybody up onto shore, just panting. Fuck it then. What have we got to poison the whole goddamn lake? They went all this time without that water anyway. Let's fucking burn the thing out.
Yes.
Anything. Oil, pesticide, I don't give a shit.
Yes, the tanker where we keep the spare gasoline for the vehicles. Spread it over the water. It will burn. That's a good start.
I'm just... I think I do drop to my knees by Thalassa and just holding her cheek. Is that gonna fucking wake her up?
We can get it out of her system. Perhaps get her some clean water. Let her lay in it and breathe. It may It may purge her system because of the way it uses water. I don't know. I don't know about Mallory.
Be back. And
All right.
I'm heading for that gas.
All right. You see Bobble filling up the tanks, and you see that management's wagon is open, and you see Shard talking to management. But yeah, you were able to get to the gas tanker. It's one of the smaller.
I need this. I've got to take it. We've got to burn out the lake.
All right. And she hands you the keys.
Thank you. I'll explain later.
All right.
Make sure nobody drinks the fucking water. And I drive it off.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he probably hears this coming as I pull up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know any other way, man. Is this what we do?
For once, I don't know. Every instinct has led me astray. But right now, this is the source of it.
It then. And kick open the valve and start hosing off goddamn lake.
All right. Yeah. You spray it down.
Light my pipe.
Mm-hmm.
Get it good and going.
Mm-hmm.
Flick the lighter in.
You see the surface of the lake ripple with fire out. But just as quickly as it passes, as it burns that fuel on the top, it ceases, but all of the mold that was at the surface appears to have been burned. As the wave of fire starts to go towards the dam, you see it begin to crack and buckle. It was designed for water, not fire.
Fuck. It's cracking. Load up fast. And I'm gonna get the ladies and get them up into the car and help Tiresias up as well.
Okay.
And I guess it's outrace a cracking dam time.
Cool. So yeah, the dam begins to crumble
Jesus.
and sprays of water go shooting out, and a cascade flows out from the dam and starts cracking into the houses. You see the river swell up and around. Yeah,
Roll
no,
choice
this is
stunt.
let's see. That. Now I'm just reading slowly to let this moment go on. Yeah, give me a keep an eye out for trouble as you're driving through, making sure that you don't screw up.
Yeah. Guile. Oh, thank God. I have good that.
Mm-hmm. You were in the military. You know how to drive evasive.
7, 8. 8.
All right.
I mean, I think it has to be what is my best way out of this mess.
Yeah.
I know what the tragedy that's about to happen.
Yeah. So you hyper focus on the road, try and kind of leaving the thoughts behind you as your training kicks in, and yeah, you're able to maneuver around the buildings, down the street, avoiding all of the bodies of the people stuck frozen in horror as you see them get swept away. And you make it back up the hill to the carnival, and you see the water pass, carrying the town with it.
I'm just out of the car on my knees, just my face buried in my hands.
Are you still there?
Very faintly, you hear, "We are moving on."
It's traveling. It's spreading.
Ah, what would you like to do?
I'm God, I don't even know where to I can't put her in that. I can't put her in her tank. I'm at least getting Thalassa back to her situation, but not putting her in that water.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that I'm thinking of the things that we would be traveling with,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to, and might be a question more for you with your experience. Would there be in the same way, you know, having a container for gas, a container for fresh water that would be big enough to fill up her travel tank, assuming they did not refill it here from the previous day's new water?
You can definitely seek out Bobble. She would likely know, and she will uh, go ahead and fill up the tank at least partially full with the water that she keeps for the engines on the road.
The only other thing I can think to fill this the rest of the way is a very old trick, but to boil the water first.
That's a
Okay.
good point.
And I think that, like, with that said, I essentially like start a teapot and boil some of the water, um, and then like pour a glass of it and take a sip to see if I feel any effect.
Okay. You take that drink, hot, kind of soothes your throat as it goes down. You're waiting for that moment for everything to slow, but it doesn't come.
Do you know when you've had a brilliant idea, far, far too late? And I hand him the glass of water.
I don't know how we'd have boiled the lake anyway. We
Yes,
tried.
yes, it's true. And so I imagine spending the next couple of hours boiling water and filling her tank, and also basically passing water into Mallory's system to see if we can essentially like flush her out.
Okay. Attempting to flush her out does not seem to reverse it. Shard approaches you, the two of you, says, management could potentially make a deal with the darkness that is ensuing us to bring back these two.
I'll do it. Anything. I'll do it.
What do you put forth that is of equal value or greater than your two companions?
Raiden? I don't know. I'd give my life. I don't think it's worth it, but I'd give it. I don't have much else.
Shard tilts his head. And looks down. Would you give your daughter?
No. No. I already gave her up. I can't undo that.
Seer, what would you give?
There is a vision I have seen of what is to come. Something I have carried with me for a very, very long time. It is what brought me here to the Axis Mundi. I could share that secret with management, but they will not like what it leads to.
His head tilts again, as if listening to the wind. The darkness accepts this deal.
Garbanzo.
You feel a pressure on your forehead. And like when you eat the thoughts of others, it is pulled from you. You no longer remember it.
Yeah, I think I stop mid-sentence like, Garbanzo, you have to know.
And time starts up for the other two.
I spring to all fours, snarling. I'm still a werewolf.
Yes, you are. And you are in Thalas's wagon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh boy. Whew. I start advancing on Thalassa.
All right. Let's get one of them Angry rolls. Let's get that lash out with unsettling violence.
God, please fail. Please,
Thalassa,
please fail.
you see Mal in her wolf form, yellow foam around her as she leaps over the edge of the tank towards you and
8.
digs in.
Oh no.
I think we go ahead and know what's going here. That would be the well, do you want to take it
Ouch.
further than expected, or someone precious to you pays that price?
Oh man. I mean, my pitch card says it pretty good. Who here do you hunt, crave, and want to taste more than anything in the world? I think I take it further than intended.
All right. You just bite down. It is a strange mix of smooth texture of fish, but the bones are big and hollow under you as they crunch. And you bite down here in between her neck and shoulder, and you feel it just crunch under you. Garbanzo,
No.
you hear a commotion of snarling and flailing.
And I'm off. I'm there. I'm going. Full speed, freight train in. And yeah, I mean, if I see this, it's just there's no stop in movement. It is just full on spear tackle around Mal's waist to get her away.
Yeah, let's get that unsettling violence.
Okay. Yeah.
This is not a good way to come out of a coma.
Oh boy. 13.
Oh no.
Not a way to wake up. Not a good way to wake up at all.
That's true. Yeah. So you feel the bones crunch as you rip her off of Thalassa. It feels good.
Oh God. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do I? Oh God. I mean, first off, I am. Oh, do I need to? I still need to pick one for a 10 plus, don't I?
Oh yeah. Oh, meanwhile, Thalassa, let's go with 4 harm for all of this that has happened. And how much damage are we getting there, Garbanzo? What's your 10 plus?
Oh, what? Where? How do I know that?
Let's see. Nope. Yeah, let's do that at 3.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Mal take 3 harm.
Okay.
Boy, oh boy, I think I'm just marking darkness on this.
Okay.
And I'm just shouting like I have full on, speared her, and I am just trying to like get as much of a full on just wrap, chokehold, whatever I can get on And
There is a resounding, booming no that echoes through the entire carnival. Mal, it sounds like your father. Garbanzo, it sounds like your commanding officer. Thalassa, it sounds like the judge that ruled over you being exiled from the sea. Tiresias, it sounds like Oedipus' father. And with that, Mal, you're back in your tent. Tiresias, you're back in your tent. Rabanzo, you're back in your tent. And I think that's where we'll close.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'd say we saved the town.
Yeah, I think we saved the
Right,
town.
clearly, this is a redemption night.
Yeah,
Listen,
agree.
Oh,
people
boy.
need to drink more water. And we ensured
We
that they're
have
hydrated.
facilitated
This is a cautionary tale.
What are we
So-
at, Joe? Do I flip
Oh,
it?
yeah, no.
We've
yeah.
tipped it.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
Oof.
Boy, oh boy. I have to say, on a personal note, I love, because I don't think there's a lot of games designed this way. This Dread trophy, where there isn't anything to stop the players from just making the exact wrong plan and executing it. I love that moment of like, we've pulled it off, and you just go, yeah, it's spread into the iron now. It's like, oh no. Oh no. A question from chat: would the scales be balanced now if it's 1-1? I don't know how that works.
Yes, they're currently balanced.
Ooh.
Okay.
All
Okay,
right.
so we're
All
okay
right,
still.
So we're doing a little better than I thought. Look at us.
Yeah. But that means that the poll for next week is the track of destruction.
Okay.
So everybody get your votes in so that we know how the story is affected for us next week. The path of destruction, either a harbinger is awoken, promising despair, or a source of comfort becomes pain. No, it becomes poison.
All right, that link's in the chat, so hit it up and decide our fates. And you have until Thursday to get those votes in. But you can go ahead and do it now. It's literally just one question.
Yeah, it is a question. Joe, anything else?
No, I'm still kind of like,
Fair.
whew.
All right, Kim, what do you got for us?
Oh boy. Oh man.
Boy,
Apologies.
talk about a different tone and direction.
I have a lot of
I'm
apologies
fucking here for it.
today. I'm sorry, Megan. Sorry, Thalassa. So looking ahead to the rest of the week, Thursday, that should say the 13th. I don't know why it says 613th day. The 613th day of July.
The 613th day of our Lord.
You know. But no, the 13th, tomorrow, at 8 p.m. Eastern, is going to be a listen through of Season 1, Episode 7 of The Crit Show. I'm back. And Rev and I are going to be starting the Hawaii arc, which I'm very excited about. We're going to be meeting a lot of characters and NPCs and plot threads that become very important for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and like this story is super important when it comes to our understanding and the way that we forever run PBTA from that point forward.
Yeah.
and we can get into the kind of the nitty gritty about that of NPCs and motivations and stuff.
Yeah, I'm really excited to talk to you about it. Thursday, the 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern is going to be Mystery Detectives. This episode is going to be so special. Why is that, Megan?
It is because we're gonna be a little crowded.
Yeah.
In this space that I've got going on right here, because I'm gonna be here, and then Kim is gonna be here.
Yep.
We're gonna be in the same chair, same space, same computer, same apartment,
Same microphone.
same earbuds. We're gonna be
Same cup.
we're gonna be together again.
Together, we're gonna do our very first in-person episode of Mystery Detectives because I'm gonna be I have a flight at like 6 a.m. tomorrow, and I'm heading to Indianapolis for 2 weeks. So we're gonna be playing Ghost of Thornton Hall. The theme is ghosts or ghost stories. Whatever you want to do with that. And then Monday, the 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern is going to be episode 3 of the Omniverse Chronicles Crossroads Carnival. And it's not on the schedule just yet, but also just as a heads up, next Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be doing the finale of Tass's End of Days stream. It's taken us like more than a year to circle back around to the final episode of what was our very first streaming TTRPG game, and it's going to be a real full house. We're all going to crowd around Rev's gaming table, and it's going to be Tass GMing, and it's going to be Rev playing, Jake playing, Jesse, Carolyn, Wes, Megan, and myself. 7 players, 1 GM. Yep. I'm playing Monster of the Week.
Barred.
Megan and I have never played this game.
Oh man,
I've never seen a single episode of End of Days.
I watched the first several when they first came out. I was very much like, it was my beginnings of being a big Crit Show fan and being like, oh, End of Days is on, I have to watch it tonight. And then I like had to miss one for like work or something, and then I was like, no, I have no idea what's happening.
Yeah, and this was quite a long time ago, and so we will have a nice recap of the story thus far at the beginning of that stream. And speaking of Kim in town, Kim is in town, and Megan lives here now because of a Patreon goal. And so we are getting together to put together both audio and video, some very fun content. So if you are on our Patreon at any tier, you will have access to that. Well, let's just say that while Kim is here, I think literally everybody is running something at some point for everyone else. It's gonna be good.
I'm very excited. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see you all tomorrow.
I'm gonna see you tomorrow night.
Oh
I have
God.
like an all-day shoot. I have to be at work for like so many hours, and I get home late, and I'm gonna be like, get home, and like Kim's gonna be already in my apartment waiting for me. I'm so excited.
So thank you to Amanda, I'm a T-Rex, for the gift sub and for the bits. Thank you, Anna, Amalamadan just now, bits cheering for getting the team together. Thank you very much. If you are not yet a part of our Patreon, I went ahead and I dropped that link in our chat as well. Tiers start at just $1. Let me go ahead and, if you have not yet voted in our distraction poll, go ahead and do that. Do we have anything else to talk about?
Do you have a button still for the listener survey?
Of course I do.
Okay. If you are here and you haven't filled it out yet, if you could fill out this listener survey, it's just a few questions. It would help us out a lot. We are getting more and better and larger sponsors, and the more information we have about who you are and what you do and what you like, makes us a more viable option for those sponsors as they come in. So we've put out the call a couple times, and every time we've gotten some more folks to fill it out. So if you could take a moment to do that, it would mean a lot to myself and the folks at Fable and Folly.
Thank you, Chaotic, cheering 45 bits for Rev's beard.
This is my I was talking about this earlier. This is my Mr. Fantastic look. I'm going to try to beat out John Krasinski for the role.
It looks really nice on you.
It is a great look.
It is a really, really good look. So I think that's it for us. So, Wait, like an auction. We're bidding on Rev's beard. If anyone wants to bid
Yes.
higher than 45 bits,
He
You know
will
what?
shave it off.
he
and
will
mail
shave
to
it
you.
off and send it to you in a little baggie.
Oh, no.
I have watched some streams. Like, we have not done this yet, and we've talked about it, and we'll set this up soon. We have not done a subathon yet, where we start a stream, and for every subscription that we get during the stream, it extends it longer, and you set sub goals.
Oh.
And I have seen a sub goal where the donation level was, once it hits here, I will shave my beard off, and like they just did it on camera. So we need to come up with some good goals for a subathon in the future.
Some good incentives.
Yeah.
All right, that's 100 bits for Rev's beard.
For
I think we're gonna end tonight before the bidding gets too high. Oh, 101.
We've started a hype train.
Hype train. A last moment hype train.
Christ.
Oh man. Thank you all
Don't trust
so
them;
much.
they'll make voodoo dolls out of it. Oh no.
Oh no. Thank you all so much for joining us for Crossroads Carnival. Thank you so much, Joe. We're having a great time. 110. All right, I'm gonna shut this down. But I hope all of you 200.
Can I get 225? 225.
Can I? Do I hear 225?
Put the hat back on, Tass.
300.
I don't know what Mike would do with my beard on top of his. He'd be like Abraham Lincoln. He'd just be unstoppable.
He just
Or
just patted
We're
in.
all up here.
Oh no, he would just be the wolf. He would be
Oh no, how do I?
he'd be Michael J. Fox from Teen Wolf.
Mike, stay in your lane. There's only one werewolf on this stream. Oh, thank you all so much. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thomas with 500 bits coming out of nowhere. Dark Horse Bitter. I've tried to end this stream so many times.
Save it for the actual auction, guys.
Here it is. Whoever wins this bidding war before we sign off gets to message me a color, and one of the videos that we record this week or next 2 weeks with Kim, that's the color my beard will be in that video. I'm sure I can find some more colors.
Whoever wins, vote clear.
Glitter beard.
Oh God,
Glitter beard.
Oh, glitter beard is good.
Oh no.
As long as it's one of the things that we do in Rev's house.
Yeah, Lord.
Oh, all right, everyone. My finger is on the credits button. I hope you all have a lovely night. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 2 of the Omniverse Chronicles Crossroads Carnival. We'll see you here again next Monday for episode 3. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.